Small, but we'll take them.
Not a bad fish. G'day team. Well, if it looks like I'm a bit excited, it's because I am. We are at Mare Island and jeepers, we've cracked an absolute ripper forecast. So today's mission is catching kingfish. Doesn't matter how we get them, whether it's stick baits, jigs or live baits, we're just going on a kingy mission. So stay with us and let's get going.
Too busy trying to make sure I didn't hook you in the back of the shoulder. Should be thanking me, really.
Sweet, so when we're casting, it's quite important to actually pull back on this butt section of the rod as we are pushing forward. That just allows more force to go through the blank and you're going to be able to cast your lure a lot further. Shark too.
Shark?
Bit bleedy.
Sharked.
Nice hooked up.
So we just got Mike having a nudge on something here for the, just eating his Jack Mac live bait. Just trying to rip him out of the reef at the moment.
And away from any
sharks if they're there.
And the sharks are there.
Righto, so we've got lots of bait schools all around us here. We're sitting in about 45 metres of water. And what I'm doing is I've actually got, here we go, Mike getting bit as we talk. That'll be great. Good for the camera, here we go. So I've got my reel and free spool and I've just got my thumb on the spool here. And what that's doing is it's just allowing me to, if I want to let some line go, I can easily do that. Here we go, it's been bit. And we're gonna lock, oh yeah. So we've just dropped our live bait over the side. And we're sitting at about 45, so I'm going to peel this down about 30 metres actually. We do have fish up on the surface, but we just had a couple of bites and they've been down a little bit deeper. And I'm just going to keep my lever drag down and keep it in free spool the entire time. Then when we get that bite, it's going to allow line to come off my thumb and we can just click that into gear. And fingers crossed, we hook a fish and it's battle stations. Oh yeah, I'm bit too.
Boys are into it.
Pretty small.
Small, but we'll take them.
On that.
George got a drop.
Oh, it's not bad.
Get it? We've got a double hookup going on.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Josh is getting the rail.
What? What?
Snapper! Snapper on a lady. Look good. Josh is getting dragged on here.
Dude.
We're just talking about how we can't snap a fish anymore.
First snapper I've caught in 30 months.
We've got a 20 pounder.
It's green. And it's the right
species.
It is.
There we go.
Alright, so we just managed to sneak this this little fella over the side. Just gonna take that hook out. It's perfectly hooked in the corner of the mouth. Edge live bait hooks. They work an absolute dream. Rip that out. We're gonna get this fish back in the water without me trying to hook my own finger.
Give me another snapper,
So
right?
we're just going here, we're just gonna be putting our hook just between the eyes, just sort of where that nose sits.
Yeah, here's a bite.
And Mike's just being bit at the same time. Here he goes.
Go on with you. Go on.
That's right. It's just a little fella.
Another lollipop.
Just another little one here. We're gonna get him up, hooked perfectly again. Tell ya, edge live bait hooks, just unreal. So, little fella, that's gonna go back. See you, mate. Just moved out.
90 metres of water.
Yeah, we just moved out to a deeper pin, just to see if we can find something else. Literally dropped it to the bottom, and immediately we've hooked up. It's like a slightly nicer fish. Not as much as not as nice as the one that dusted me earlier, but it's got a good bend. I need to go to the gym this afternoon. Yeah. Not a massive fish, but it's a fish nonetheless. And this fish might be getting a free ride back to Papa Moore. Not a bad fish. Just a nice one to kick off things out in these deeper waters. We want to take a fish home today, so we're actually going to knock this one on the head, bleed it, and put it on ice and give it a free ride back to the mount. Oh, yep, we got him. We got him. Oh, yeah. If you haven't bought one of these, you need to. They're like 30 bucks. And they just, tell you what, save your manhood. Solid. Cheers, Speedy.
Sweet as bro.
Oh no! We have a blowout.
Oh no.
What does how to Dad say? Got to buy golden. Breed tag technology.
Oh.
Did you get that one on video? Righto, so just managed to snag a pretty solid one. And hold it properly. It's probably around that sort of 13, 14, maybe 15 kilos. Sort of a bit over that metre mark. So yeah, pretty stoked with this one. I'm gonna circle back around and do a couple more drops.
But again,
Coming a bit shallower.
Got it on the jigs.
Gone to a jig. Got a little whack on the way down then.
Right, on. Oh, the silence.
oh, you're talking about jigs. I'm not jigging.
Hey.
Oh, I think, jeez.
Looking at it down to here, we're just coming up onto the top of a reef, and what we're doing, we've got a drip that we're coming in. Obviously you can see from our lines here, we're coming back into onto the top of the reef, so we're fishing that sort of leading edge
And what we want is we're starting deep, we're just drifting into the shallows, and as you can see from the sounder, we're spinning through that mid-water. And so we're just going to plug away here. We're going to drop some jigs and drop some live baits as well, and see if we can't pick up some jiggies. Righto, so we've just pulled up to the spot. We're sitting in about sort of 40-50 metres at the moment, and I'm just going to drop this jig to the bottom. So when we're jigging, over the side, thumb down, and what I like to do is actually keep my thumb on that spool. It helps to prevent overruns, but also when you hit the bottom, you can thumb it and lift. We're fishing over quite foul area, so we don't want that jig to be sitting deep into the reef. So as soon as we hit the bottom there, we can lift that up, click it back into gear, and now our jig's actually off the bottom. Now for the jigging action, it can be a little bit unco to start with, but effectively what we're doing is as we drop, we half turn down, and as we lift, we're half turn up. So down, up, and then as we get faster and faster and faster, it kind of doesn't really look like I'm actually moving my hand that much. And this is normally the part where we say, please Kingfish, eat my jig. And we'll repeat. Important, Speedy said it earlier, we're looking at that sounder and we're seeing our bait fish in like 30 odd metres. So the ideal thing for here is sort of jig 10 metres either side of that bait, right? There's no point in jigging 50 metres because you're going to get tired so quickly. So at the bottom, we're in 45 and jig up. We're not going to go all the way up, we're just going to go up sort of 20-30 metres and then hit that bottom back down again. Hey team, so we've just found a little sheltered bay, so we're just going to have a little bit of a chat just about some of the gear that we've been using for either jigging, live baiting and topwater fishing today. First off, we're going to talk about live baiting. Live baiting is a super effective and probably the easiest way of targeting kingfish, especially out of these three techniques. It is simple. We've got a rod, we've got a reel, we've got some line, a sinker, a simple hook, and then you can use a variety of live baits, be it jack mackerel, blue kohiru, blue mackerel, even things like herring, spottings and piper. While you can use a wide variety of rods and reels for live baiting, we've certainly found that using a jigging set or a slightly wider 30 wide set is going to be the most beneficial. The reason I like to use a jigging set is it's got a nice narrow spool, it's got plenty of stopping power for kingfish, and it also has a shorter rod. So when you are dropping those baits down and you're trying to detect that bite, it's got a sensitive tip. But then when you want to lock and load, it's got a heap of power through this mid to buck section, which just allows you to put more hurt onto that fish. Jigging is a super exciting way of catching kingfish. It is one of my favourites. It's pretty physical, so if you're doing it all day, you're going to know that you've had a pretty good gym workout. But when you get that initial strike from those fish when you're jigging, just not much beats it. It's absolutely insane. In terms of sets, I like to use something on the shorter end of the scale, something in the 5 foot to 5'6" range of rod with a nice sensitive tip to allow that jigging and mechanical jigging motion. However, it does need to be powerful through this midsection, through to the bottom section of this rod, because you really are going to need to put some immense hurt on those fish to keep them off the reef. When you're heading out to offshore reefs, I'd highly recommend running heavier. The reason for that is, you're not going out and targeting 60, 70, 80 centimetre harbour fish. You're going out there to target metre, 1.1, 1.2 metre, 20 kilo plus fish, all right? So you need heavy braid and heavy leader to be able to stop those fish from getting to the reef. When it comes to reels, you want something with a narrower spool. All right, there's no point in having a really wide reel, because when you are jigging and you're worrying about your technique, it's going to start bunching on one side. If you've got a narrow spool, like this Shimano reel here, It's going to then lay your line a lot nicer, and it's going to avoid pretty much all bunching. There's going to be the odd little bit, but it's normally going to come towards the end when your jig is almost at the surface. When you're going out and you're looking for a reel, make sure that it's got decent drag system, all right? Minimum sort of 15 kilos and up, all right? You want to be able to stop those fish and stop them effectively. For jigs, we really like 200 to 350 grams. We will vary the weight depending on what the current is doing, but this weight jig allows you to easily fish 30 meters all the way through to 100 meters, absolutely no dramas at all. They are a good size profile, often matching the size of the bait fish in the area, and are not too heavy to jig for a long period of time. There are multiple options from multiple brands out there, and we have been using the edge fishing ones recently with some amazing success. For my opinion, the pink silver, the black silver flutter jigs, and the octo speed jigs have been the absolute top performers. Well team, what a day! Oh, we had an absolute blast out there. Thanks to Cam and TK Offshore for letting us utilise their boat for the day. Had an absolute blast out at Mare Island, just an absolute killer. Managed to get a few fish to the boat and hooked a heap today. Unfortunately, they got the better of us, so I reckon there's going to have to be a part 2 at some stage. We'll just have to get that one past the bosses. One of the big things I really want to just make note of today is sharks. So you would have seen through the footage that we've got, we actually lost quite a few fish to sharks, either coming up with heads or just completely getting the whole thing taken. If you're getting sharks, please move. All right, move spots. We moved probably 8 to 10 times today. As soon as we had one shark, it was pretty much, right, that's us boys, we're packing up and we're going somewhere else. There is no point in killing fish just for the sake of it, and it's going to happen when there's sharks around, okay? So one thing I really do want to point out is if you start getting sharks, pack up your stuff and go to another reef. You know, we moved 8 to 10 miles today in some cases, and unfortunately there were still sharks there too. So thanks for joining. All right, make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and of course YouTube. For all of the knots that we're using, there's going to be a whole lot of videos being posted up real soon. Thanks heaps, and we'll catch you on the next one.